What's up, Micah? Good to see you, man.
John, my man, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Chasing the little one around, I assume, right?
Oh, who you telling, bro? Oh my gosh, what does it
Uh,
stop?
I imagine. You were pretty open last year about how not having this type of in-person portion of the offseason program affected, at least how you feel it maybe affected the start of things for you guys defensively. So looking back on it, now that you guys are able to get together again in this setting, how beneficial and what specifically do you think this is going to help you guys with?
Well, I think it obviously it's one thing being on Zoom calls and being able to go over, your defense and I guess what the offense is doing, all that type of stuff. But to be here in person, be able to walk through, communicate with each other, see what we see, see what each other sees, it's important. And so, this is just that time that we can get together. We can go over some things and try to work out the kinks that we may have, and hopefully we get the mistakes out. So when the training camp, we can start building off of what we did in OTAs.
Attendance is phenomenal, especially considering we understand the push the NFLPA has made to maybe encourage guys not to show up for this voluntary portion. How would you describe the conversations between you as leadership and players as with the coaching staff that maybe has encouraged guys to come here when, again, the Players Association is saying otherwise?
Well, I think that the NFLPA will always have the best interests of the players. Nobody's throwing the NFLPA under the bus and saying that they're giving us wrong information. I think that ultimately, in the long run, the safety of players, they're always going to look out for the players. And for myself, in my own opinion, I chose to show up because I wanted to be here. Now, everyone's in a different boat. Everyone's in a different situation. So, we each kind of relayed the message to everybody that, whatever your situation may be, if you feel like you got to show up, show up. If not, don't worry about it. So, we do have good attendance. And it's good to see some guys, but at the same time, I don't think that with guys not being here or some guys not being here, I don't think it's hurting them at all. It's just that, everyone has their own situation.
Dion had mentioned yesterday, like a back and forth, a give and take that was really positive between the coaching staff and maybe them altering the schedule a little bit to acquiesce a little bit to some of the things you guys are looking for. How would you describe some of the things and the dialogue between the two parties with your team?
Well, I think that when it comes down to any type of situation between the players and the coaching staff or we can talk about Bean or GM or whatever, in the Buffalo Bills organization, everything's handled with respect and trust. I always trust that Sean's gonna, do whatever's best for the players, and he trusts that the players are gonna whatever message he delivers, that the players are gonna go out there and handle their business. So obviously that follows suit with Bean also. So it's just the conversation going back and forth is all respect, all trust. And we're ready to build off what we did last year.
Thanks a lot, man. Good to see you.
You too, buddy.
Hey, Mike Catalana in Rochester. When we reference the safeties, you guys, we'll say Hyde and Poyer and Hyde. Have you two ever discussed who should get top billing?
No, not at all. Not at all. Honestly, at this point in both of our careers, we're both going to year 9. Been with each other. This is going on our 5th year. We joke around and say it's our redshirt senior year. I think that at the end of the day, I'm Poyer's number 1 fan. Like, that's my boy. To see him go out there and play the way he's played since we got here has been remarkable. And put football to the side. Like, I don't even care about football right now in this discussion, just because I think Poe, to see his evolution as a man and as a father, as a husband, I think that's what I've been able to see that people on the outside haven't been able to see, and I think that's what's awesome about him. And it's just truly remarkable to see him grow as a person, and then obviously the football player on top of that, just handling his business. And to this day, I always feel like he doesn't get the recognition he deserves. And it is what it is. But just to like I said, just to go back to the beginning, I'm his number 1 fan.
And a quick follow-up, obviously you're at your highest level, but at any point in your playing career, high school, Iowa, Green Bay, anywhere, have you ever had this much trust in another player that it appears you two have together?
Oh, no. I mean, I've never played this long, as obviously as the other safety. I played corner in high school and in college, just a few years with the other corner and a few years with the safeties, but never, going into 5 years. So this is really like a remarkable situation. And I don't know how many teams in the league have safeties that have been together for more than 3 years. And that's why, you could come out with all the rankings about the top safety duos. You can come out with all that BS, because at the end of the day, if I'm a coach or I'm a GM, I want to see consistency. And between me and Poe, that's there. Hardly missing any games, knock on wood, and going out there and just trying to help put our defensive position to win ball games, help our team win ball games. So it's just truly remarkable how long we've been able to play with each other, and the trust is for sure there.
Great, thank you.
Of course, thank you, Mark.
Hey, Micah, Thad Brown. Thanks again for the time as always, man.
What's up, Thad?
Hey, to kind of build off what John was asking, you guys this offseason have two not small issues between the NFLPA and the vaccine thing going on. Because you guys have so much continuity and familiarity between not only player to player, but player to coach, when you have those important discussions, how much easier, better, more productive are they? Because to steal Mike's word, you have that trust already.
Yeah, it's I don't think those talks are ever easy. I think that if we didn't know each other, then yes, it'd be a little bit harder. But we do know each other. We know where each other are from, how they grew up, each other's families, that type of stuff. So it makes it a little bit more easier, like you mentioned. But that's just the day in life of an NFL player now, I guess, and a coach. All these social issues coming up, and I've always been a person that kind of stood in the back and kind of kept my opinion to myself. But throughout these last couple of years, obviously, with the kneeling, who's going to kneel, who's going to stand, just all the type of stuff that's gone on in the last couple of years, it's kind of making guys have an opinion, have a vote, speak up and have an opinion. So, it's difficult, but at the same time, we have each other to fall back on, and that's what this team is for.
You talk about being a day in the life thing right now. Is it a everyday thing where you're having a conversation of one or the other of those two topics?
There's a lot of conversation going on. There's a lot. I think that it's good though. It's all healthy. I've always said that if we could kind of create a locker room in society, then we wouldn't have the issues that we have today, just because our locker room is full with so many different guys from all different backgrounds, so many, different beliefs and stuff that, and we all gel, we all get together, we all love being around each other. So that's, if it was like that in society, it'd be totally different. So the conversations are always happening. And, you have a array of guys with the young guys, the rookies just getting here, and you have guys that have been here for, been in the league for 12 years. So, it's nice, healthy conversations.
Awesome, man. Appreciate the time as always.
Oh, yeah, that.
Micah Hyde, Micah Hawkins, Waffle Sports 1080. How's it going?
Mookie, how you doing, man?
I'm good. President of the Air Traffic Control Unit, man.
I see you.
Yeah, I've been controlling a lot of things in the air for the past 4 to 5 years, so we got to give you that, man. How was your off season?
It was great, man. It was great. Hanging out in San Diego, getting my backyard. I wanted to do some things in the backyard, redid some things, and so now if anybody on here wants to redo their backyard, I'm your guy. I know how to install a pool. I know how to lay down some turf. If it comes to the plants, I can do that. I can plant some plants. So I learned a whole bunch over the off season.
The ultimate landscaper, right? So,
yes.
Diving into some football, man. How do you take in the 2020 season to create your mindset for this season?
It was difficult. 2020 was difficult. I'm sure it was difficult for you guys. It was difficult for the coaches, difficult for the players, the fans. It was, for me personally, in my opinion, I think it was most difficult for my wife and immediate family, my son, just because I saw what they had to go through all year. So to build off of 2020, just it has to get better. It has to be better. And I'm looking forward to 2021, seeing the fans in the stands, and obviously bringing the noise and all that type of stuff. But just for this team to see where we went last year under all those different circumstances, we understand that it's going to be tough. We understand that just because we made to the AFC Championship game last year, that there's no guarantee we're going to be back. And so I'm excited to see this team respond. I'm excited to see, as individuals respond. So it's going to be fun.
Absolutely, man. And speaking of fun, it seemed like you got you some new babies there to groom in Josh Thomas and Jaquan Johnson and the new rookie DeMar Hamlin. What are your impressions of those guys so far?
Obviously when we're going through the OTA practices, it's majority of it is mental. Majority of it is because we don't have pads on, we're not hitting and stuff like that. So to see these guys, get in the playbook, and I've always said, as a young guy coming in, you just can't make the same mistakes twice. That's the way I learned. When I made a mistake as a young guy, I always told myself, like, don't make that same mistake. Learn from it right away, whether if it's on the field, in the meeting room, and then, move on past it. So, that's what those guys are showing right now. And it's important to see.
Absolutely, man. Hey, welcome back to football. Enjoy camp.
Thank you, Moot.
Micah, John Worrell, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, John?
Good. Just knowing that there were all the issues that you had to deal with as a defense and as a team last year, but especially as a defense, and maybe I'm not sure if how much that worked into the inconsistencies that I think we saw, and maybe you saw in the defense as well. It played well at times, but at times it didn't. Was last year's performance up to what Bill's defensive standards and your standards should be for this defense? And how do you, and if so, and if it wasn't, how do you build on that?
Well, the mindset we always have around here is, to get better each and every day, and we can always be better. Obviously last year there were some ups and downs, which you're going to have throughout the NFL season. It's long, different opponents bring different challenges. We understand that. But I don't think that we played, the way we should have. And, we had some spurts where we played pretty well. Obviously, deep in the playoff, or deep in the end of the season into the playoffs, we were playing pretty well on the defense side of the ball. But obviously, except for the last game. But we feel like we can always play better. And that's kind of the mindset that we're bringing in this year. We don't want to have that first 3-4 game kind of fallout that we had last year. We're going to go in, obviously training camp, hit the ground running. We have a preseason this year, so we'll have time to go against some opponents, kind of feel some things out. So I think that's what we're most looking forward to.
Right, and I'm not sure if I was planning to ask this question, but just the openness and your talks about how open the discussions are in the locker room, and also based on the concerns you had over how difficult last season was personally and on your family. Are you confident the Bills can reach those NFL thresholds to return to normal? Are you confident that could happen this season?
You're asking about the vaccine?
Well, that's what the thresholds are, and that's what's holding you might be holding the team back from being back to normal.
Right now, obviously in early June, we're not going to speculate on might hold us back and might be a disadvantage, that type of stuff. What we've been talking about in the locker room has been open dialogue. Whatever your opinion is on all those situations, it's on you. And we're not going to sit here and tell guys to do this or do that. They got their own families. These are all grown men in this locker room. So as far as that question goes, I guess that'll kind of sort itself out once guys decide to do what they want to do.
Fair enough, Micah. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Hey, Micah. Good to see you.
What's up, man?
Not much. We were talking to Jordan and Dion yesterday, and obviously the topic of coming to OTAs, you're talking about it a little bit at the top. It's a voluntary thing, and you have that choice. And I'm wondering, as a veteran, as a guy that's been around for a long time, why did you come? Maybe outside of obviously a team building opportunity, and also like what's fun about it? Because as a vet, like for you, I think fans might think, man, OTA's got to be a real drag for him, but I'm sure that there's parts of it that maybe you enjoy.
No, I mean, this is my 9th OTAs, 5th here in Buffalo. The reason why I came back is I want to be around my teammates. I want to be around them talking ball, meeting the new guys, putting a name with a face, that type of stuff. But, off the field, we got another baby on the way. And so we want to come back to Buffalo, get the house ready. We understand it's going to be a long season with a newborn being right before the season. So we wanted to get that prepared. And also we love Buffalo. Like, we're in San Diego, and in the off season, we're hanging out, enjoying the sun. But at the end of the day, to come back to Buffalo and to see our neighbors, hang out with them, have conversations with them, we feel like this is home. So it wasn't no one had to, arrest me to get me to come back here. It was kind of one of those things that we were looking forward to coming back for a couple of weeks, and then, enjoying the summer back in San Diego. So, Buffalo is definitely home for us.
Congratulations on the new addition coming.
Thank you.
How much different was life in the NFL when the first one came along? What was that change like?
Well, it was for me, it was going to work every day, and COVID happened, pandemic happened. So it was a big change for my wife. I'm sure last year we would have had a ton of help, people coming up, helping us out, grandparents and all that, to help hang out with my wife and myself and my son. But due to having to quarantine and all that type of stuff, it was real difficult on her. So that was 2020 was wild. It for sure was. And like I said, I'm glad that the world's kind of opening up even more, and now with baby number 2, we can get a lot more help.
Awesome. Congrats again, man.
Thank you, Matt.
Hey, Micah, it's Kim Jones from NFL Network. Congratulations.
Hey, what's up?
That's great news. I was going to ask you about 17 different questions, but when Mike was asking you, especially about you and Jordan and the whole time together and stuff, it strikes me that you've been in Buffalo for now some really formative years where the Bills have gone from to championship contenders. And I think anything less than that would be disappointed inside your building first and foremost, but also that's what NFL fans expect. And I just wonder, as we sit here in the middle of this off season and you guys are at OTAs and stuff, how would you look at the Bills and the development you've seen and been a major part of in these years? We're now saying our goal is the Super Bowl isn't pie in the sky. It is very much realistic for this team.
Yeah, well, I think it starts with number one, the guys that Sean and Brandon brought in early. I know back in 2017, with myself, Poe, Patrick DeMarco coming from Atlanta, just to name a few guys, Hauska coming from Seattle. They brought in a bunch of guys that kind of were able to steer this organization in the right direction. And then with the draft class they brought in, obviously with Tre'Davious and D-Dog, I think Milano was in that same draft class. So you got to give the credit to Sean and Brandon. I mean, there's no other way to put it. They're bringing in guys to change this organization, and I feel like they've done that. And they're always adding pieces to it, and they're always telling the players, the training staff, everybody can get better, everybody can improve. And I think early on, people made jokes with to Sean about the process. It honestly has been a process. It's been a long but fun 4 years, going into 5 years, and we're excited with the pieces that we have on this team, and to see where this organization has gone since we got here. It's remarkable. I was just saying how Buffalo's home for my family, and I'm sure a lot of guys in the locker room feel the same way.
If I could quickly follow up, I'd appreciate it, and I thank you for your time as always. When you look at, a June OTA or a mandatory minicamp, is all of that stuff a lot more fun when you truly are a contender, when you were on a team where that stuff, you could argue June does matter for a team like yours that is already so good but can get better as this season goes along as well?
It kind of goes both ways. Me as a competitor, I always feel like with the team that I'm on and OTAs, you have a shot. You always feel like you have a shot. And maybe you're just blind to the fact. But at the same time, being older in this league, I realized that not everybody has a shot. Like, come on, let's be honest. There's certain teams that go to the playoffs, every year that, have been doing it for a while. So I don't know. It just for this team and for this year and for this OTA practice we just got done with, it's fun because I understand we are a contender. We're a very good football team and we're trying to build off what we did last year.
You're great, Micah. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, AJ. We'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you, Micah.